I'm confused, and I'm sure a lot of our viewers are as well, but explain to us what the good fats are and the bad fats for cholesterol, because I still don't know.
Okay, so let's talk about cholesterol first.
Yeah.
So your cell needs cholesterol in order to make it to regenerate. So it needs that oil, that fatty base, to make a nice healthy cell. So cholesterol is not a dirty word. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. So there's good cholesterol and there's bad cholesterol. So the good cholesterol is HDLs. So when your doctor says, "Oh, you've got a high HDL," you say, "That's okay. I'm okay with that." If he says you have a high LDL, that's not okay. Lousy. Bad. So the H means it's high density. It's a fat or molecule, and L means it's low density. And low density means that they are small and latch on to each other and cause a problem. Okay, so the good fats are avocado, olive oil, nuts, seeds, cheese has some good fat in it. Yeah, I'm not saying eat a lot of cheese, but you know.
But you should know what the good and the bad are within your diet, I would think.
Right, and bad fats are the trans fats, oils, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Processed foods.
Back to the Twinkies.
Yeah, those Twinkies, like that.
Now, I've heard the term used many times, and maybe you can help us define what they are. And the term is superfoods.
Right.
Exactly what are they and how do they work?
Okay, you know, it's a fun thing to call a food a superfood. All really healthy food is going to be a superfood for you. So what you want in terms of a superfood is a food that's going to provide you with antioxidants.
I've heard that a lot.
And the antioxidants are the ones that give you that plump cell.
Yep.
So what are they? Vitamin A, vitamin E, beta-carotene, selenium. So you want those vegetables that give you all of those vitamins, and it's blueberries, spinach, papaya.
Eat the spinach.
Eat your spinach. Kale's wonderful.
Yeah.
All those leafy greens are going to be terrific. I mean, we can make them exotic and have you look for something like acai berries, but that's not accessible to you, but blueberry is.
Of course, you are president and CEO of POP Displays.
Exactly.
Where did the name come from?
Well, POP stands for Point of Purchase. So what we do is part of our name.
Well, expand on that a little bit, Ed, and tell us about your company.
Okay, so what we do is we provide integrated solutions for retail merchandising. So any companies that sell in a retail environment, not necessarily just a store, could be restaurants, could be anywhere where there's a retail type environment going on, we can take them from design through engineering, prototyping, manufacturing, warehousing, distribution.
What inspired you originally to get into this type of business?
Well, I've been with the company for about 5.5 years. I was hired to help it with a turnaround situation that the company was in. It's owned by a private equity company.
Describe for us how POP Displays is different from a broker or some of the other competitors in the permanent merchandising marketplace.
Now, that's a good question. Some of the ways we differentiate ourselves from a broker would be when you come to us, it's a one-stop shop.
Okay.
We handle everything from start to finish. If you share the concept of what you're trying to accomplish with your products at retail, our designers can take that concept and develop a solution that you can execute, that you can actually execute at retail. The other models all have their advantages as well, but with us, it's really about one-stop shop and saving you money in that process.
Yeah, it also sounds like you hold the key to success for many of these companies.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's so many times where companies go to an agency and then they try and farm things out to disparate manufacturers, and then they have to coordinate that manufacturing into distribution. We take all that headache out of the process.
Nice. Cappy's Travel is also known as the luxury travel agency. What does that represent? What do you mean by luxury travel?
Well, luxury travel is probably of the more the 5-stars, 4-star hotels with that.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
with that. And also with luxury travel, I'm now a Virtuoso member agency.
What does that mean?
Virtuoso is the most prestigious and powerful travel network in the world. And you have to be appointed. You can't buy into it. There's only about 355 or plus agencies. And actually only 1% of travel agencies in the United States are part of Virtuoso. So it's a very significant.
It's an honor.
It is a great honor.
What are some of the misconceptions that you experience with clients when dealing with an architect? What are the misconceptions that they might have?
Well, some of them might be that the architect is a great expense in terms of professional fees, and that's not really true in terms of the actual dollar amount being spent on the entire construction process. It really is evaluated at a smaller percentage of the construction cost that you might really know. And also another misconception is something that where the owner might think that we'll just kind of regurgitate what they want. But our job is not to do that, is to actually interpret the wants, needs, and desires of the client, regardless of project size, and come up with a design that will solve the problem and be an enhancement to their lives and to their business.
Sure. Now, I know you're modest, but you are an outstanding architect and have been for many years.
Thank you.
But my question is, in the beginning and during your career, who have been your influences?
Frank Lloyd Wright is my main influence. Richard Meyer is another big influence, and he studied Wright, so that's logical. Frank Gehry is a big influence nowadays, just in the terms of how innovative he is and the way he's able to get things done his way, which is what Meyer and Wright also did in their own way. And I think that just the surroundings that I'm in is an influence. Novels have been an influence. Music has been an influence.
Would you say as an architect that you have a specific style?
I would call my style modern in the broad sense, although the firm has done some pretty eclectic work. But myself, my personal preference is for modern buildings that are of their time and of their place.
Okay. Explain to us what USL Technology specializes in and what the mission of your company is.
USL Technology primarily specializes in IT consulting and working with small businesses with 5 to 35 employees on staff. And we basically build computer networks for these businesses, which entails connecting their systems, servers, routers, and switches, and telephone systems as well. And not only do we do that, we also support and maintain these systems once we install them within their business environment.
Sure. In a general sense, why would a business need your services?
Typically, our clients would come to us because they're so small. Having an internal IT staff can cost, it's pretty expensive. It can run from, I would say, $40,000 a year. And considering the segment of the clients we go for, it's best to go with a consulting company like myself, like USL Technology, versus having to hire somebody internally.
What type of industries, as opposed to businesses, does your company usually partner with currently?
Right now, we primarily focus on nonprofit organizations.
Interesting.
And that is actually a very interesting choice for myself. Because I consider nonprofits as a very integral part of our society. They give to the community. They do a lot of work for the underserved communities. And I think it's a known fact that their technology environment isn't always the most sophisticated or technologically advanced.
What are the advantages of a log cabin home
Well, first of all, the advantage of a log home versus a typical traditional dimensional framed home is the thermal mass value that you get out of a log home. If let's say we're in the eastern region here, we're in Zone 5. The IEC codes have now put us into a Zone 5, which is putting us into a whole different realm of R value. So what's happening is if it's, humidity takes away from the R value. So with a log home, we're getting a thermal mass, and virtually our homes are getting to be about 30% more energy efficient than a typical stick frame home.
When did you realize that, Andrew, that this is what you wanted to do with your life?
Early on, I see myself as a child growing up. I see the other kids that were out playing, doing things, baseball. I was with my dad.
You want to build?
I wanted to construct and engineer things.
Sure.
So,
with the log cabins, I know we haven't mentioned this, but there's a tremendous interest in this country for the construction of log cabins. And this is what you said. In a recent article, somebody was interviewing you about this trend, and you said the log home has left a lasting imprint on the face of American architecture, more than any other style of home. And I guess that must be true.
It is true. Right now, there's a lot of documentary going on with Russia. Russia is putting up a mass. They're all homes. You get that thermal mass. They're in a different climate than what we are.
I'd say.
But, you know, for the, northern New York, upstate New York, you still get the cold. Not so much this year, though, right?
Not this year, but traditionally.
Yeah.